Unique with Unique Travels TV, and I'm currently at school. I'm coming to make a few videos today, so you probably will get a lot of alerts. I've been getting a lot of questions, and I've been kind of slacking on making videos, so I'm going to answering them. So I'm going to answer a few in this video. For one, I'm going to this is a remake of the visa video. I made it and then I had to make it again, which is right now because I had the camera faced the wrong way. So what do you need to get a visa for China? Do you need a visa for China? These are questions that I get a lot. Yes, you need a visa to come to mainland China. And what I mean by mainland China is Hong Kong and China. Hong Kong is China, but they have their own separate border. They have their own separate currency, their own separate laws, rules, all that stuff. For everywhere else except for Hong Kong, for American citizens, you do need a visa. If you fly into Hong Kong, Chris and I, we flew into Hong Kong. If you fly into Hong Kong, you do not need a visa for American citizen. You can stay in Hong Kong for up to 90 days visa free, but you can't cross over into mainland like the rest of China. So it depends. If you're not working in Hong Kong, it's kind of pointless to fly into Hong Kong and then you can't get across the border unless your job has something set up. Like our job had something set up as to where they wanted us to fly into Hong Kong, and then we paid like $160 to cross the border, the Hong Kong Shenzhen border. Mind you, we live in Shenzhen, so we were going to be working in Shenzhen, so it really worked out because Hong Kong, they're so close. They're like right next door to each other. Like you could take the regular train to get to Hong Kong from where I am. So and the job just worked everything else out. They sent us back to Hong Kong for us to get visas. I got a 10-year business visa and Chris got a 10-year tourist visa, and we had that until they transferred it over into a work visa. You'll get some people who will tell you, oh, you don't want to come to China unless you have a visa already, a work visa already, because the job might screw you over. They might not get it. You'll be working illegally, yada, yada, yada. I mean, we decided to just wing it, and I was very well and prepared to pay for my ticket home if it didn't work out and try again. But it did work out. So another thing is, if your job says, oh, they're going to get you a visa and to come on a tourist visa, and then they don't get it by the deadline that they said they were going to get it by, you could always kind of threaten them because they'll get a really big fine for having you working under the wrong paperwork. Whereas you can get deported if you're caught. So while they get a fine, they get to stay in China. They'll kick you out of China. So that's something to consider as well. Like if you're a single person and you're like, oh, I'll just try it, and that's fine. But if you have like a family or something, I wouldn't recommend risking it. So do you need a visa for China? Yes. You need some kind of visa. It doesn't have to be a work visa. It could be a tourist visa. It can be a business visa, student visa, whatever you decide to finagle and get. You need that to leave the airport once you fly into China. To get a work visa, the proper documents that you need, there's a lot of them. I'll actually make that in the next video about what documents you need to come to China and to get a work visa. But for just a regular tourist visa, you have to have a plane ticket showing that you're going round trip. So you need to prove that you're going home. So I knew I was going to be applying for some kind of visa when I got here, and I want to be on the safe side. Like, what if my job didn't come through for me or whatever? I could at least get a tourist visa and stay in China until I work it out, explore, whatever, while I'm trying to figure it out. So what I did was I booked a flight on Priceline. Priceline has a rule that you could cancel within 24 hours. So I booked a one-way here. Then I booked a separate flight coming home, like showing that I was coming home. I went to Office Depot, printed out the itinerary, then I canceled the flight. So that was my proof in saying that, oh, I'm just a tourist and I'm coming to visit. And then I went on booking.com and I booked my hotel, and then I canceled it. I did the same thing. I printed out the itinerary and then I canceled it. And when I went to Hong Kong to apply for my business visa, I had to show that stuff. I had to show that I was going to be leaving within the 90-day period, 60-day period, because for Hong Kong you get 90 days if you're a U.S. citizen, but for China, you only get 60 days to cross the border on a tourist visa. So you get a lot of people who you'll hear them say, oh, I have to do a visa run. That means they'll run to Hong Kong, get a stamp on their passport, and come right back. You don't even have to go out of the port area. You can just turn right back around and get back in line and come back in. You just have to have a stamp on your passport saying you left the country within 60 days if you're on a tourist visa or a business visa. So what I did was I booked a hotel, I booked a flight, canceled them both, printed out the itinerary, and I had that as proof to say, okay, I am a tourist. I'm not trying to move here and stay here. You have to have that to prove that you're going to be leaving. If you have a friend in China, you could get them to write you an invitation letter. If you get them to write you an invitation letter, you do not have to prove that you have a hotel, but you still have to prove that you have a round-trip ticket. So you don't have to provide them with any hotel information or booking information, because in the invitation letter, your friend will need to put that, oh, they're going to be staying with you and this, that, and the third. So if they send you an invitation letter and they have to put their address and their passport number, all their information, and basically a letter saying they're inviting you out, and you'll be staying with them, and they take full responsibility for you and all this crap, then you could do that. So you get some people who have a friend in China, like, oh, write me an invitation letter, and then they get them a ticket, and there you go. So for the visa, it costs about $120 to $160 for the visa in the U.S. to get a tourist visa or a business visa. They do have 10-year visas now, so they used to only do 1 year multi-entry or whatever. So now you can get a 10-year multi-entry visa. But your visa gets canceled out if you get a work visa. So I had a 10-year business visa, and Chris had a 10-year tourist visa. But once we got the Chinese work permit, work visa, residency, and all that stuff, it just canceled that. So it was just a waste. You can't have both at the same time. So my residency and work visa is good for a year. So I don't have to leave China for a year if I don't want to. I don't have to make any visa runs, this, that, and the third. But it only lasts for a year, and then it has to be renewed. Versus with the tourist visa or the business visa, I could have had it for 10 years. And as long as I left the country every 60 days, I could have stayed in China and come and go as I wanted up to 10 years. So it's pros and cons, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to come back to you guys and make another video about the paperwork you need to get a work visa, to get a business visa, or to get a tourist visa. Like I said, you need to prove that you have a round-trip ticket and a hotel or an invitation letter saying that you're going to be staying with that person who invited you. It's Unique with Unique Travels TV. Like, subscribe, share. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask, and I will do my best to answer them quickly.